Hello there, and welcome to In My Opinion for BloodRayne Betrayal Fresh Bites. You play as a vampire Rayne, who works for the Brimstone Society, and her mission today is to find her douche of a father, Kagan's castle, which seems to be buried on the ground somewhere. That's really all the plot in this game, and this one seems to have no connection to the previous two, so I guess it's like a reboot attempt. I covered the past two games before, and if you remember, I said from 1 to 2, we got to see more Rayne's personality and more dialogue. While we get to hear some good lines from her, sadly here it's even less than what it was in part 1. And there's also some mysterious raven that flies around that kinda just felt there. Basically, if you're playing this, it's mainly for the gameplay. This entry is a little different as now we have a 2D action platformer. So while you'll be slashing and shooting away at enemies, there's more of a focus on platforming and making some tricky jumps. When it comes to melee, you got some combos you can pull off depending on the speed you burst attacking if you're in the air. There's even a launcher allowing for some air combos. When it comes down to movement, you have a dash you'll be using a lot for getting to platforms, dodging attacks, and getting to the enemy's face faster. You also have a super jump you can pull off, which will come in handy. Even the ability to foot hop at enemies come into play for more tricky segments. Now with the guns, this time around it's way more simple as you have one with limited ammo, but enemies do drop refills sometimes. Also, the gun itself is pretty damn strong and has good reach. There's also a set amount of skulls you can find in each level, with the game telling you how many are left in each level. These are pretty well hidden at times, but it's worth it as when you get 5 you can either increase your base health or add more shots to your gun. I usually went back and forth on it, but I believe you'll max out both by the end. It's just which one you feel is more important maxing out first. The core gameplay is a bit janky but still really fun. I say janky because while attacking works, there's a little problem with animation startup. As going for a slice up combo then turning around to shoot is not as smooth as I would like it to be. You really have to pay attention to your animation or else you'll get smacked. Also, the super jump, which is when you dash and press some buttons to perform a big old stylish flip, sometimes doesn't come out for some reason. One second I do it with ease and the next I'm struggling to make it come out. It's so freaking weird. Now this all sounds like a nightmare that would ruin the game, but for the majority of playtime you don't really notice it and the game feels enjoyable to play. Those tricky platforming sections I mentioned are actually fun to pull off, a la hopping on some flies to either make it to the next spot or for a secret skull. Also, pulling off some simple combos and dashing through attacks and turn around and leave a bloody mess is a treat. I mainly felt the irksome moments when I was trying to go for certain trophies. This game is a remaster of the original Betrayal, hence the Fresh Bite subtitle. And as someone who played the original, I can say this rebalanced version is a massive improvement over the original. I honestly did not like my experience with the original, as I only felt pain and frustration as a lot of the moments, be it combat or making progress and platforming, only to die, felt cheap. From my understanding, the new rebalanced versions touched up on a lot of things like checkpoint placements, so if you die you never felt like you lost a ton of progress, and enemy balance. By the end, I wasn't feeling pain or frustration, I just felt like I had a good time. When you're finished with the game, you're allowed to replay any of the 15 levels to either get any skulls you're missing or get a higher rank, as each level gives you a rank depending on how fast you beat it, how much damage you take, and the points you earned while in combat. You can also play the original version of Betrayal in this game if you want to, but I personally would not recommend it. This entry went for a very different look, as you can tell. It's going for more of what if BloodRayne was an anime, and I think it looks great. The developers' way forward are no slouches when it comes to visuals, and this game keeps up that record. I think the only odd thing is Rayne's pupils in the title screen, but besides that, I love her design here, as while it's a bit different, it's still within character. The creature designs are great as well, and if you think the blood and violence would be toned down because of this new visual direction, you would be wrong. We got blood fountains here, and you'll be seeing enemies explode and heads flying off. It's all very satisfying. I also love how the levels look in this brand new style with such popping colors. While there isn't a ton of dialogue, Rayne's original voice actress Laura Bailey still comes in and does a great job. Technical wise, I ran into no bugs and the game was silky smooth.
You're full of surprises. Care to tell me who you actually are?
I'm here to warn you. Lord Kagan is here.
You don't say. Oh, a family reunion. Shame, I didn't bring dessert.
While I would have preferred a continuation from part 2, this is still a fun little BloodRayne adventure with some nice visual flair. The gameplay can be a little janky, but it didn't stop me from having a good time, and I enjoyed the violent combat and the challenging platform. Also, even though Rayne didn't get much to say compared to the last two games, it was still nice to see her again. It took me around 4 hours to complete the whole game, and that's collecting all the skulls, with replay value being collecting anything you missed, or if you want to go for a higher rank in each level. I do appreciate that they rebalanced the original Betrayal, as it really did make for a much better experience I could recommend to any BloodRayne fan, or someone new just looking for a bloody action platformer with some bite. I hope you enjoy my thoughts on this game, and for gamer's sake, keep gaming.